It's time for Around the Ozarks news, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Good morning to you on Thursday, which is weird because it feels like Friday to me.
I agree.
But it's only
I
Thursday.
concur.
Feels like we should be doing tell you what's happening for the weekend, but we're not there yet. That'll be tomorrow. So let's do the news, I guess, on Thursday.
Here we go. A Springfield man will spend 7 years behind bars for trying to steal 5 ATMs. The 46-year-old pleaded guilty. You might remember when ATM machines were being targeted. All 5 of this man's incidents were in the Springfield area. So this is not the rural ATMs that you may remember. This was a Springfield crime. Roy Schrickle would attach a strap to the ATM and try to drive away with it. All right. Someone shot into a home just outside Republic, and a juvenile inside the house was hit and hurt. He is going to be okay. He was actually treated at the scene. This happened on West Farm Road 172 Tuesday night. Deputies say there were several people inside the house when the bullet hit it. They are searching for the shooter.
Wow, that's scary, isn't it? Just minding your own business in a house.
I know. My question is, were they minding their own business?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they knew each other and they were fighting and it was like a drug deal gone bad, or if it was literally people hanging out in a house doing nothing and a bullet comes in the window. You know,
our news experience over the last 25 years would tell us that there's some type of involvement, but we don't at all know that.
But not necessarily, right?
It's terrifying if it was just completely random, because that could be anybody at any time.
Yeah, and that happens, but it's not the norm.
By the way, say the word rural.
Why do you do this to me?
Rural. That's Oklahoma.
You say the word family.
Family.
No, you used to say family. Say the word wash.
Wash.
Exactly.
I used to say that.
Exactly.
I had to make myself quit. When I moved to Las Vegas to go to college, I said wash the clothes one time, and my friends were like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you mean, wash the clothes?" And they were like, "Wash? There's no R." And I was like, "Oh, they're right. There's no R." So I had to make myself stop saying things that were incorrect.
Yeah.
All right. An old and now defunct Robertson School, the old and now defunct Robertson School, it's not Ann, in Springfield, could be sold by the Springfield School District. The school board just voted to label it as a surplus property, a designation needed to be able to sell or lease the building, which opened to students back in 1905. The district closed Robertson at the end of this past school year, earlier this year. Students are instead attending Boyd Elementary. So we'll be watching to see. I think they have somebody who's interested in buying it already, but there's a process to go through. So we'll let you know. Supporters of a proposed casino at Lake of the Ozarks are suing the state of Missouri now because the issue didn't make the November ballot like they wanted it to. Supporters collected signatures to get an initiative petition on the ballot, but the Secretary of State's office said the campaign was more than 2,000 signatures short of the number necessary to get it on the ballot. The lawsuit is asking a judge to overrule the Secretary of State.
Ozark has a new spot for enjoying the great outdoors. Actually, it's a really old spot that they're kind of bringing new life to bring visitors into experience some nature from yesteryear, more than 100 years ago. The Garrison Springs Community Forest is now open to the public. It offers walking trails. The spring there was what attracted the first settlers to the area who set up camp there. It was owned for many years by Howard Garrison, who also owned the Riverside Inn. Right. The Garrison family sold the 10 acres of land to Ozark in 2021. And with a couple of grants, it is now the Garrison Springs Community Forest.
Yeah, we went out there several years ago when the kids were little. It was neat then, so I'm sure it's even better now.
Yeah, it's very exciting for me. All right, have you noticed the tap water in Springfield has had a strange like odor and taste? I have noticed.
I have not, but
I've only noticed one time. It was yesterday. But I had a big cup of water that I was like drinking on all day, like with a straw. and it did taste strange. It tasted almost, to me, it almost tasted metallic. Anyway, apparently it's an algae
Yeah.
bloom. That is why. City Utilities said the algae is naturally occurring. The water is safe to drink. It comes from Fellows Lake, of course. But if you notice the water tasting or smelling funny, you are asked to contact CU to tell them about it. I'm not sure if CU, Joel Alexander, are you watching right now? Do you watch Around the Ozarks? We just need to know. Anyway, there you go. It is a strange taste.
I guess they want to know if there's just certain areas that are experiencing it, because otherwise
we live in the city limits. That's all I can tell you. But
we told you a few months ago about the Federal Trade Commission banning non-compete agreements for businesses, saying they are unconstitutional. Well, that was supposed to go into effect in less than 2 weeks. But now a federal judge is barring that from taking effect. The judge is overruling the FTC, claiming the FTC does not have the authority to make that rule and declare non-competes unconstitutional. Which, interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm a little surprised by that, honestly. I mean, if this is a jurisdiction thing, then I don't know anything about it. And if the judge is right that the FTC doesn't have that ability, then I don't know who does. But we had to sign a lot of non-competes in the television business over the years in every job that we've ever had. And I always thought that whether I signed it or not, this is unconstitutional because it allows a business to control my life when I am
After
no
you
longer
leave
employed by that business. So I just never understood how they can do that. I mean, in television, especially when you're coming up, I mean, you don't argue it because they're going to say, "Oh yeah, you're not interested in that. Fine, we'll get the guy behind you in line."
Yeah, there's 500 other people in
Right.
line.
So
right.
Coming up through the business, I didn't have the clout to argue it, but I know there were some anchors in Oklahoma that fought it, and they won in their state,
Right.
and it was found to be unconstitutional. But this was going to be across the board nationally. No more. We'll see what happens if there's an appeal.
All right.
Meanwhile, more trouble for the United States. Our fertility rate is at a historic low, all-time low. Fertility rate dropped another 3% in 2023 from 2022. So we're headed, I mean, it's been a slide over decades downhill to only 55 births for every 1,000 U.S. women. The average number of children a woman will have in her life is now at 1.64 children, 1.5 kids. That's well below replacement level fertility of 2.1 children per woman. That's the number needed for the country to keep population numbers stable, to pay taxes for the people as they grow up and become adults, and to work in the future, basically to keep our country running. So that is a little disconcerting, but it has been a couple decades long slide.
Yes. Go forth and multiply. That is the word.
I want to do it.
There you
I mean, I'll do it.
I see what you did. I see what you did there.
I'm in.
You're so embarrassing. Shut up. Stop talking. I'm sorry, everybody. We try to keep this PG, but every once in a while.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
anyway,
I'm for it.
You're seriously embarrassing. Oh, okay. Sorry. Our area now has a Southwest Missouri. You are such a turd.
Get it together.
I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get it together.
We're trying to do a newscast here.
We now have a Missouri film office, a Southwest Missouri film office located at the Gilloys, which is really cool. And yes, that is how you say it. That is how you pronounce the Gilloys. The office will support film and television projects, create jobs, and work to showcase the Ozarks. States like Georgia have made big business out of on-location shoots by offering production companies much better tax breaks than the state of California. So Missouri said, let's do it.
Yeah, I was reading about Georgia. They ended up making it became a $4 billion industry in Georgia, and for every $1 in tax breaks that Georgia gave, they got $6 back in new money coming in. So
Wow.
they look at it as a win. Missouri is as well, as you know. Speaking of TV and movie stars, Travis Kelce wants to be one. Kansas City Chiefs tight end is going to star in a new movie called Loose Cannons. He's also going to be in the FX series Grotesquerie, which I saw a trailer for. Not for me. It's weird. And he's going to host a game show called Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? Kind of, very similar to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And of course, his real job, football. The Chiefs kick off the 2024 season on September 5th at Arrowhead against Baltimore, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. I'm sure he will. Well, I hope a certain bald eagle has learned a valuable lesson about gluttony. That eagle is now back in the wild after a rather embarrassing stint in rehab. Turns out the bald eagle gorged itself so much on delicious raccoon meat that it could no longer fly. Too heavy. This is real. In our area, too, right in Springfield. So after spending some time in therapy, learning about healthy eating habits, and losing some of its weight, the eagle has been since released into the wild near where it was found in Wilson's Creek National Battlefield. And we're all hoping
that is interesting.
it doesn't end up in dire straits again.
Yeah, that is very fascinating. All right. And finally, this Renegade Harley Davidson, which is on West Sunshine Street here in Springfield, is teaming up with the CBCO Community Blood Center of the Ozarks. They invite you to come on in, roll up your sleeve, and make a life-saving donation. We know that they need blood right now. So head over there and donate. You will get a Harley Davidson t-shirt, a voucher for 2 free tickets to the Dickerson Park Zoo, a $10 Renegade Harley Davidson gift card, and you will give blood to people who need it. So you can head over there. It sounds like it's going to be a great time. And also, they say to call the CBCO to make an appointment. Just call their main number, so that way you don't have to wait once you show up.
Yeah, you'll be helping yourself if you call and make
Help
a reservation.
yourself.
Yeah.
And call and pick the time that you would like to go.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of good stuff you get from giving blood. That's nice.
I know. Yeah, that's cool.
Tickets to the zoo, cool. A t-shirt, or gift card. Man.
Yeah. And they need it. They need the blood.
They need the blood.
So
yeah.
It's a good time. Okay. That's all we got for you. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope that you will join us back here tomorrow morning, because it is only Thursday today. So we do have one more day of this, despite it feeling like a Friday, Yeah. It's not.
We'll be back, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. See you then. Bye.
Bye.